In today's video, I'm going to show you why to never use your cell phone to test your speed and your agility. Okay, welcome to the stopwatch testing workout. Now, this guy right here, I promise you, is going to be the difference of creating a stud athlete. They're going to be more competitive, they're going to be more motivated, and they're going to start running faster and becoming more agile if you just follow what we say. Now, I have a whole other program. We've only released it once, only for like 2 days, and I'm actually going to go into the vault and just give you this for free as the training. Because it's very similar, and I don't know how many people have even seen it, probably like 60, 70, right Ryan? Like 60, 70 people only?
Yeah.
60, 70 people have only seen this, and I've talked about it inside the parents groups and the customer groups, and I've mentioned and done a couple of lives talking about testing, but this is more of a thorough breakdown, and just know, like, these drills, doing it with the stopwatch is gonna be the make or break. When you run a 10 yard, or a 20 yard, or a 40 yard, you need to be precise. You can't be measuring on your stopwatch and then measuring on your phone the next week and then saying, oh, my kid got slower. Well, they got slower because of your phone, because you can't hit it as quick. Now, if I'm just gonna go like this, I can do that quick. Try to do it on your phone. It's not gonna happen. It's gonna be slower. You have to like lift your finger. You can't even leave your finger on it, right? So keep in mind, do all these drills, all this testing, you need to do it with the stopwatch that you got, okay? If you're really excited, you wanna go do it and you wanna do it with your phone ahead of time, you could try it, but the stopwatch, I promise, stick with the one thing. All right. Now, the other thing, there is another video involved with this that we're giving you, and that is the stopwatch secrets, where I do a breakdown. I think the video is like 15 minutes or something, and I break down some of the secrets behind this bad boy right here, and it's gonna absolutely blow your mind. And be sure to watch the entire thing from start to finish, because I tell you how to motivate your kids, I tell you how to make them competitors, I tell you the exact upper body, lower body, everything that you could be adding with this bad boy right here. All right. So if you like it, just let us know and we'll continue to put out the content, but be sure you follow everything to the T. All right, guys, we are at the stopwatch testing of the stopwatch secrets. Now, in this video, I'm gonna have Adam kind of show the testing and I'm gonna kind of talk as he does it and show you guys. Now, the number one thing is, all you need is 2 people to do this. So if you're doing this with your kid, you could just be the one with the stopwatch, they do the drill. Now, the biggest question I know that's gonna be asked is, how long in between the testing do I take or let my kid rest? And my best advice in anything, not just the stopwatch secrets, but in anything, is let them rest as long as they need until they do that next rep or until they do that next set. Oftentimes you see athletes that are like, they're dying, their hands are on their hips, they feel like they're gonna puke, or their hands are on their knees, feel like they're gonna puke, and then it's like, all right, next rep. It's like, okay, you're crushing that kid's nervous system, you're making them slower, you're making them less agile, they're not gonna be as explosive. So you wanna let them rebuild, almost like an energy bar in like Mortal Kombat, right? Like if you're throwing a bunch of punches, then you're gonna lower that energy bar and then your punches are gonna get weaker. Same thing goes for speed and agility. The more punches you throw, the weaker you're gonna get. And the more that you're moving around, the slower you're gonna get. And when you start training slow, you start becoming slow. So everything you do with your kid, they have to be fast. All right, everything with this testing, it's got to be full go, let them rest. So for one of your kids, it might be a minute rest. For the other, it might be 30 seconds. And if you have a third kid, it might be 2 minutes. Whatever it takes for them to feel like, all right, I'm good to go, I'm good to compete. The mindset of this workout is, I'm gonna compete. The kid's got to look at it as, I'm beating my old score, or I'm beating my brother, or my teammate, or my best friend, or whatever. They have to look at it as competition. So instilling the competition in the child is just as important, if not more important. And in the stopwatch secrets video, the like classroom style video where I just talk and shoot from the hip and talk to you, that I actually go a little bit deeper into the psychology, so I'm not going to touch on it too much, but really take this stuff serious. I promise you. That is how you're going to build a competitor, by getting them to show up to the training wanting to beat it, not showing up to the training because you're making them or because they're just going through the reps. They have to do it. Okay, they have to be there to beat themselves or their brother or their sister or their friend. So remember that when you're going through this. Now, and I'll talk a little more on it as he goes in case he needs a rest. I'm not going to give him as much rest as your kid's going to get, only to make the video a little shorter for you. But so the first drill that we're going to do, we're just going to, so an imaginary line, actually I can make one right here. So he's just going to go on this line and he's going to go side to side on the line as fast as he can. Now, as soon as he comes over the line, I'm going to count 1 rep. And a lot of you may have seen us do this drill, whether it's on YouTube or in another product. And the reason I reuse this drill so much, and a lot of these drills, because they work. And I promise you they work. But the most important part that I really don't touch on much is the competitive spirit. Make them beat their score. Challenge them. right? Get one kid talking to the other kid like, oh, I'm going to beat you. Like, build that camaraderie within this testing and within the stopwatch secrets, and watch the attitude change. I'm talking on and off the field. They're going to be more agile. They're going to be faster, but their whole attitude will start to change and they'll have that little swagger, and they're going to feel more confident just by seeing themselves progressively get better. Okay, if they can get better and they can see it, oh, I started at a 21, now I'm at a 23, now I'm at a 25, now I'm at a 27. If they can slowly see themselves getting better, they're going to get more committed and they're going to get more determined to beat everybody else. Okay. All right, so you guys walk through it. You don't got to go full, unless you want to go full goal. You want to go full goal?
I'll go full goal.
All right, cool. So
I got to beat my last score.
yeah, what was your high?
I think we were doing like 28 when we did last year.
Yeah, I think
I don't even play sports anymore.
yeah. I think his high was like 28 or 29 when we trained. We went. That's a whole other animal. We did 7 workouts. He went from never dunking in his life, and he threw down his first dunk when he was in college. He was interning with Twice Speed, and he threw down a dunk within 5 weeks or something like that. We have video footage of that. That's a whole other animal, though. All right, so this one, we're going to get in. You're going to go out or over the line. So here will be the line. Boom. And you're going to, every time he gets over that line, I'm going to count 1. As soon as he makes a movement, I'm going to start the watch, okay? So I'll put it closer to my mic so you can actually hear when my watch starts. Stop, 31. It's 31. So notice, there is no right form for this, by the way. And what I want, so you notice on some of them, he's coming, so he's here, and then he starts twisting a little bit and he's getting over. The point of these drills is fast movement laterally, quick. Boom, 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 boom. As fast as you can go, right? So even if one is a little sloppier or something like that, just don't have your kids stop. Have them just go through, all right? And what's going to happen is your kid's going to want to retest. Like even if we tell you, and there will be sets and reps included with this, but even if we tell you, okay, do 1 set or do 2 sets or whatever we tell you to do for each one, your kid's going to be like, all right, I'm going to do it again. I can beat it. And they're going to want to do it again right then and there. I can promise you, once they become more competitive, they're going to want to do it. So that's the first one. So you beat your high, 31. So getting over 30 would be, I would consider very good. Very, very good. The best I've ever seen was CJ. He got like 38. That was the fastest ever. And he did it 3 or 4 times a week, or I would say 2 or 3 times a week for like 5 years. But that's the first one. Second one, we're going to go back and forth. So towards me. Yep. Here, you're going to face me. And now I'll draw the line here. So now he's going to go on and off that line or over that line, and I'm going to count every time. $26. Good. So we got 31, we got 26, and write these down. So this is where you could actually use your phone. You can pull out your notes or whatever in your phone. Write down, okay, testing 1 or week 1, 31 on quick feed alternate or quick feed lateral, 26. You just get 26 on quick feed back and forth, right? And then you're gonna go into the next one. Now I'm gonna let them rest. And sometimes I'll like as the trainer with the athlete, just so I can know like their wind, because as I get to know clients or when I was training camps or kids, I would actually get to know their wind, and I would see when I knew he was good, I would actually look at the watch. So then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, next workout, I kind of know where he stands, right? Because everyone's got different like oxygen capacity, and they have different VO2 maxes. So I actually just watch the athlete's mannerisms, and if your kid's like breathing heavy or moving around, you can even start to stopwatch them on the side and just look. It's like, okay, at 30 seconds, he looks like he looks good, right? And then ask them, are you good to go? And they might say yes or no. But usually they're going to be like, yeah, I'm good to go, but you want to make sure they're good to go before every single rep. Because if I were to have him go and I didn't just take this minute in between or however long this just took, he would get a slower time on that last one, and that's doing him a disservice. The difference between him getting a 27-28 and if I made him just go right into it 20 seconds later and he drops down to a 24 25, he is now a 24 25 fast twitch speed, right? His muscles are firing at a 24 25. He's not firing at that 27-28 that all he needed was an extra 30 seconds. Give up 30 seconds to get that speed. That is the one thing I want to beat into everyone's head. All the athletes, all the parents, you have to give time to the kid so they can go at full go. I promise it will make a big difference. All right, now quick feet alternate. Face me. So now you're gonna start staggered like this. So he's got 1 foot essentially on the line, so the line would be like right here. He's got 1 foot on the line, 1 foot behind the line. When that right foot comes forward, he's gonna alternate his feet, and when the right foot comes forward, that will count as the first rep. So right on this foot. As soon as the foot goes forward, we'll count the first rep, and as soon as I see him move is when my stopwatch goes. Stop, 27. What did I call? That's a ninja right there that I knew he was going to get 27. Now, he would have gotten 24, 25 had I made him do it within 20 seconds. Another fact. I know what I'm doing. Like I said, I am the human laser. Like I don't need laser equipment. I could pinpoint anything with a stopwatch. I can promise you. So not the last one, but the next one is wideouts. So for this one, we're not actually going to draw. I mean, I guess you could draw a little bit, but all you're going to have them do is just get in a stance just like this, almost like they're playing defensive basketball or like a linebacker stance, shoulder width apart roughly, maybe a little bit wider than the shoulder, but probably about shoulder. And then they're just going to go outwards. Okay, so it's going to be boom, boom. Actually, if you want to have them go inside their shoulders, just because the little kids will have shorter legs, so they're going to come here, shoulders, and then boom, in, in, in. So when you're doing it fast, it would be like this. Okay, and then every time he comes in, or every time he goes out, so he'll start in, and then that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. All right, so you'll start shoulder width, and then we'll work our way out. For the older guys, you can start a little wider just because they're stronger and they can hold it. Here, let's turn this way. Actually, it'd be better for. So start shoulder width, and then I'm going to count every time they come out. Stop, 26. Now notice there was a couple where he didn't even go in and out. Just count that as the rep, and just to stay true with it. Or if you want to count that as a false, you can count it as a false. So he got 26, maybe he messed up too. 24. The goal of this is to just give them a concrete score that they then can beat. So if you're going to do it one way from the beginning, just stick with the way that you choose. I'm losing my voice, I'm talking so much. So in my case, I would just count that as a rep personally. If the kid screws up, I count it as a rep because I know they would have gotten that rep and they just made a little mistake. But if they're like going like this and then they just start like doing that, that's not 3 reps. So it'd be like 1, 2, and then 3, and so on. Okay, just to make that clear. All right. So another thing that we're going to talk about, the 10, the 20, and the 40. So we're done with these drills right here. So those are the 4 that you're going to do: the alternate or the lateral back and forth, the front and backwards, the alternate, and then the wideouts. Now, after you're done with that, we're not going to even do it here just because we don't have line markers. I guess we could walk a little bit over here. Here, start on the line. So from here, we actually had the space, but it just won't look right on the camera. But essentially, all you're going to do is you're going to measure out. I'll grab this football and kind of measure it out. You'll measure out with a tape measure and just mark off 10 yards. So I'll just mark it off my feet. Boom. That would be the 10. And then you'd mark off 20. So maybe even that base right there, that might even be 20. But you would mark it off the 10 to 20 and the 40. Okay? So you have that all. Now, if you have multiple kids, or maybe if you're a man and your wife is with you, you could have your wife be on 1 on the 20 or whatever. However you want to make it work. If you do have multiple stopwatches, some of you actually do have multiple stopwatches from Twice Speed, so you guys could actually run the full thing and with just our stopwatches, and then you'd be good to go. But if you don't use your cell phone. Please don't use it. It's not going to be accurate. Only use the stopwatch and just have them run it multiple times. So you would start and you'd have them run the 10, boom, and then you get that time. You write it down in your notes. The only time you can use your phone is that time when you're writing down the scores. Now, then you move back to the 20. You give them rest. Give them 2 or 3 minutes. Let them recoup. Ask them if they're okay. Watch their body language. Okay? You're going to start to pick up on these mannerisms. By the 3rd week doing this, you're going to be able to just know how long it's going to take for them to be ready. You want them to be ready because you want them going full go. So then you go back to the 20. So now I'm over here. And now he'd run the 20. So the key with this, do you have a good shot of me, by the way? I don't want to like walk out of the screen. Good. All right, so the key to this is when I do stopwatches, and the best way to do stopwatches, and the closer you get in doing the stopwatch, the more precise you have to be, okay? The more precise you have to be from here as opposed to back there. And as you get further, it gets a little easier. You don't have to be precise. Because if you're off by a tenth here, it's a lot different than being off by a tenth there with your finger. Like if you're a tenth slow with your finger, it's going to be a bigger difference on the 10 than it would be on the 40, okay? So we'll go back to the 20. We're going to get him here. Now, as I get far, what I usually do is I stand here and I point my stopwatches, and if I have a string on it, I actually point the string like this. And that's why I call myself the human laser. And I never even saw anyone doing it, but I almost treat it like a sniper style, where it's like as soon as I see that person move, I want to be so precise that I'm going to be on the line that they're going through. I'm here, and he moves. As soon as it's on him, you let them run. You don't drop your hand. You let them go on them. As soon as you see them move, it's here. And then I just wait, and now I'm just watching, and now I'm staring at an imaginary line. And the first thing I see past that line, I'm going like this, and when I literally close one eye, and I stop. And a lot of times, like even in my YouTube videos, you'll see me, I'm like this, and then I go like that. And I drop my hand, I try to slam my hand as soon as I see them go past me. So to bring it a little closer, I don't know what type of angle we got there, but if we were doing it right here, it'd be the same thing. So on the 10, and you don't have to get down on your knee if you really don't want. Like I take this really seriously if you can't tell, but if you just want to stand here and do it, that's perfectly fine. But if you want the best to see what's going on, it is better to get right here because you'll see everything, right? And that's why the lasers, if you ever watch like Olympic sports or even at track meets that have lasers, or even like the NFL Combine, they all use laser, like electric timing, and it's like right here, right? And the reason is because usually the first thing that's going through is a knee or some part of the leg, so that's where it's going through, so you're gonna see that. If you're up here, you might be looking at their shoulder while their knee's crossed. So you wanna be precise. And that's why I'm the human laser. So I would watch. So if you wanna just show one, we'll do a 10. Yeah. So it'd be here, as soon as he moves, boom. That's how I would do it. And I got a 169. And pull out your stopwatch. Oh, you didn't get to see when he left. I was gonna say if they pull out their stopwatch and they all did it, to see if they would get 169. That'd actually be kind of funny. We'll do that in another video. I'll guess that time, and I'll guess just blind. Okay, so that's the 10, that's the 20, and the 40, same thing. Get down, do the same thing. You point that stopwatch. As soon as they move, start, and then you can drop your hand. You don't have to be the sniper anymore. And then they cross that line, and it's bink. All right, and that is it. So you have your quick feed drills. You're going to measure all those. You're going to write down those scores. You could use your phone for that. Write down week 1. He got a 31, a 26, and a 27, right? And then the wideouts, you got like a 26 something. 26 on the wideouts, and then the 10, you got a 169, and then 20, he'd probably run like a 27, and the 40, he'd probably run like a 47, 48. That'd be my guess. But that's all you do, and you write all those times down. Just bing, 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 bing. And then next week, you pull it out, you do it again. As always, guys, subscribe, turn on the notifications, share these videos with your teammates, with your coach, with your parents, or if you're the parent watching, share it with your kids. We are here to change the way that athletes train forever.